Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to SciShow Quiz Show, the show where the points are made up but the science is real. I'm your host, Michael Aranda. Today we have senior SciShow White House correspondent Hank Green versus the Crash Course Astronomy host, Phil Plait. Hank, you are playing on behalf of Amy Eiseminger.
Hi, Amy. How's it going? I'm going to win.
And Phil, you are playing on behalf of Ian McDowell.
Hey, Ian. I'm talking to you, although you're not actually here right now.
Weird. To find out how our contestants can play for you, you can go to subbable.com/scishow. Both of you start out with 1,000 points.
I quit. I'm done.
Oh,
that's it.
Okay.
It's actually, sometimes that is the best policy. I have ended below before.
Each time you answer a question correctly, you will win some number of points that I will make up at the time. If you get a question wrong, you might lose some points. Who knows? Whoever has the most points at the end wins some kind of stuff from DFTBA. Stefan, what will our winner take home today?
Well, Michael, both Amy and Ian will be taking home these autographed cards from Hank and Phil with their final guesses and wagers on them, as well as either the I Won SciShow Quiz Show pin or the highly sought-after I Lost SciShow Quiz Show pin. A fancy, out-of-print Hank Green CD signed by the man himself, and the winner will also take home a copy of the script from this episode, plus this Pizza John blanket. Good luck, Amy and Ian, and back to you, Michael.
Okay. In honor of Phil joining us today, our first question is going to be about planet, specifically the planet Earth, and more specifically about volcanoes on the planet Earth. So really, doesn't really have anything to do with astronomy.
Yes.
Where is the most
news.
active volcano in the world?
What?
Is it Mount Etna in Italy? Is it Kilauea in Hawaii? Is it Mount Tambora in Indonesia? Or is it Stromboli in Italy?
Ooh. No idea.
Then you ring in first, and that'll make it easier on me.
The Hawaiian one. Kilauea.
You are incorrect.
Oh, it turned red.
Oh.
I just always see those YouTube videos of lava pouring out of Hawaii, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. But I don't know, what does most active mean, Michael?
I have no idea.
Well, you'll have to take away some points from you.
Hey, no. Oh, did you point it? Did you push it? You're pushing it. You're buzzing in.
Do you have an answer?
This is fun, though.
Do you have an answer? Do you have an answer?
I have 3 answers. I have to pick from one. It's either Etna or Stromboli. I'm going to go with Etna.
Incorrect. The correct answer is Stromboli. An island volcano off Italy's western coast, Stromboli sits on the northern boundary of the African plate. And according to the U.S. Geological Survey, it has been in a near constant state of eruption for at least 2,000 years. Stromboli is known for its unique style of eruption, which involves almost hourly explosions of gas, glowing cinders, and so-called bombs of lava that are thrown hundreds of meters into the air. This kind of volcanic activity is known, logically enough, as Strombolian eruption. But the bigger, more violent eruptions that we usually associate with volcanoes are known as Plinian eruptions. Probably the most famous of these was the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in the year 79, which buried the city of Pompeii, but Vesuvius hasn't erupted since 1944. Mount Tambora in Indonesia erupts this way too, as it did in 1815 when it caused the largest documented eruption in history, ejecting 160 cubic kilometers of gas, dust, and debris into the atmosphere. But thankfully, its most recent eruption was just a little burp in 1967. Finally, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is probably the world's second most active volcano. It typifies what geologists call the Hawaiian type of eruption, which involves low levels of gas, high temperatures, and long, slow oozes of lava. Kilauea has been erupting this way non-stop since 1983, and has been active for all but 30 of the past 190 years. Minus
that's not
100
astronomy.
points. Minus 100 points to both of you.
That doesn't count, but okay, fine. All right.
The very first Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded to German physiologist Emil von Behring in 1901. He was awarded for his work in developing serum therapy, in which animals, like horses or pigs, were infected with a weakened version of a pathogen, and then serum from the animal's blood was injected into human patients who had already been infected. Behring's therapy was so successful that it's still in use today, sometimes with other humans as the source of the therapeutic blood serum. This technique is now used to treat all of the following diseases except tetanus, Ebola, malaria, diphtheria.
These are harder than they've been previously. Okay, I don't know, but Phil buzzed in.
I think I buzzed in.
You did.
those are all infectious diseases except malaria, which is a parasite. So
True. God, why wasn't I thinking?
You are correct, sir. Malaria. Unlike the other diseases, which are caused by bacteria or viruses, malaria is caused by a blood-borne parasite called Plasmodium. And partly because there are so many species of the parasite that occur in so many different life stages, researchers haven't been able to develop a serum that consistently prevents the disease in humans. But Behring's technique did help wipe out an outbreak of diphtheria among European youth in the late 1800s, earning him the title of the Savior of Children. His therapy also became widely used as a treatment for tetanus, a bacterial infection of the nervous system, and it even works against Ebola, as seen in the case of nurse Nina Pham, whose infection with the virus in 2014 was reversed after a course of serum therapy.
That
is plus 200 points to Phil.
Yeah, of course they wouldn't use serum therapy for a parasite.
Minus 200 points to Hank Green.
They might. If like your blood chemistry is weird and kills malaria. It worked in Andromeda strain, and I know what I see on TV is always true.
Next question. Edema is a condition characterized by the pooling of fluids in human tissues that causes severe swelling, often due to problems with the circulatory system. But you'll sometimes hear this condition referred to by its informal Victorian-era name, which is dropsy, palsy, falling sickness, or grip.
Wow. Also the vapors and...
I'm gonna go with dropsy.
You are correct!
Yeah.
In the 1800s, edema was widely known as hydropsy, from the Greek word for water, and later became known as dropsy, a term that's still in use. But if your doctor uses it, you might want to find a physician who's like less than 100 years old. Palsy, meanwhile, was a general term used to describe any condition that caused paralysis, while falling sickness referred to certain forms of epilepsy. And grip, sometimes la grippe or the grip, was a term for influenza, from the French word for to seize, probably because of the constriction of the throat that some patients experienced. 200 points to Hank. Let's take
200.
200 away from Phil.
I always assumed that was just like vertigo, like
We
just
just
falling
took-
down, but...
You just took a bunch
No,
of
wait.
points away from him. You didn't even try.
Yeah, he still didn't get the question right.
So I got 400
Wow.
points, basically.
Wow. Science, not math.
You better try harder.
I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna start guessing.
Next question, no touching. This device was the first instrument of its kind to be used in Western medicine. What is it? The first otoscope, the first medical suction pump, the first portable microscope, or the first stethoscope?
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna go with stethoscope.
That would have been my guess.
You are correct. It is the first stethoscope. It was invented by French physician René Laennec in 1816 when he was visited by a young female patient complaining of heart problems. But he didn't want to check her heart in the way that doctors typically did at the time, which was to press his ear to her chest. So he rolled up some sheets of paper into a cylinder and found that he could not only hear her heart, but the funnel-shaped tube actually amplified the sound. He soon began making the devices out of wood and brass and named them after the Greek words for breast and to look at. Let's give 200 points back to Phil. I'm sorry, Hank, but you just lost that 200 points. That
He still has my other 200 points.
Okay, for our final round, our contestants will choose to bet any number of their points on their answer. I can tell you that the theme is Valentine's Day, so make your bets, and we will be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back. Okay. Feelings of affection, intimacy, and commitment have been linked to two main hormones that we secrete when we're with that special someone. Oxytocin, which is typically released during moments of very close intimacy, like childbirth,
I don't know why you decided
breastfeeding,
to do that to
and
me instead of
sex, and vasopressin, which has been associated with maternal behavior and long-term bonding between mates.
Awesome.
Now, neither of these comes from your heart. So where in your brain do these hormones originate? Is it the hypothalamus, the amygdala, the medulla oblongata, or the hippocampus?
Wow, I thought it was none of those. I was pretty sure I knew it, and it was none of those.
You were thinking pineal gland, weren't you?
I wasn't.
Because that's what I was. Okay. then everybody's wrong.
Everybody's
Yay!
wrong. Okay, shake hands and
Wow.
go home because I'm definitely losing this game.
Can we get that one again? The hypothalamus.
Hypothalamus,
The
amygdala,
campus.
amygdala?
medulla oblongata, or hippocampus?
Well, the amygdala was the queen in Star Wars, so it's not that one.
Let me see this. Can I just look?
Don't look at my card. Don't touch my card.
Okay, done.
Ready? Show your answers.
Ah.
He said hypothalamus, I said hippocampus, and then I drew a hippo.
Phil, you are our winner. It is the hypothalamus. The amygdala plays an important role in your body's hormonal reaction, but it's responsible for things like your body's fight or flight response in times of stress. The medulla oblongata, meanwhile, controls involuntary functions like breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure, and the hippocampus is the seat of memory and spatial orientation. But the hypothalamus, the tiny structure at the base of the brain that's about the size of an almond, is where your nervous system meets your endocrine system. So that's where many important hormones, including oxytocin and vasopressin, are manufactured. Then they're moved to the pituitary gland, where they're secreted at just the right time. So really, we should all start giving each other Valentines that are in the shape of the hypothalamus. Thanks for joining us on SciShow Quiz Show. Remember, if you want one of our resident Smarties to compete for you, you can go to subbable.com/SciShow. Be sure to check out Crash Course Astronomy with Phil Plait, and don't forget to go to youtube.com/SciShow and subscribe.
I'm not feeling like a resident Smartie today, Michael. I'm sorry, Amy.
I'm sorry, too.
Ian, it's for you.